Hey guys, welcome back to the Goodfellow Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Barone. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for checking in. I got a short story for you. Don't forget about the like and subscribe and the Patreon channel. And don't forget to shop too with the shirts and the logos with the Goodfellow. You're going to like it. So I got a quick story from New Rochelle, New York. A long time ago, I used to hang around with Mike Donado. Mike Donado and I were pretty close. And Mike was a good guy, handled himself, good looking guy. He liked the same kind of things I did, cars and all that kind of stuff. He used to work for the Teamsters Union, really good guy. So we were the type of guys that if I wasn't working and didn't have money to go out, he'd say, yeah, come on out. Then he'd give me some money and like a $10 bill, $20 bill, whatever it was. And then at least I could buy a girl a drink if I met somebody like that. And the same thing for him if he was laid off for a while. That's how kind of friendship we had. Well, we used to get out of New Rochelle a lot of times. We used to go out to Long Island because, it was just a different area, different place, and nobody really knew us out there. So it was nice to get away. Well, I had a Buick Electra, 1982 Buick Electra was white with the blush blue crushed velour interior in it. So what I did was I liked the car. I mean, it was like my first real nice car. I put like heavy duty sway bars on it. I beefed up the suspension so it would handle nicer because I was a little crazy driving back in those days. So I told Mike all about it and stuff. So we go out, we take my car all the way out there, we drive. So on the way back, I says, Mike, why don't you drive the car, check it out, see how you like it. And so he did. He drove the car back. And he goes, wow, Joe, the car's great. So we cruised around. We got home kind of early, so we just took a ride like through New Rochelle, see what was going on. A couple of the clubs that were there, we just passed to see if we knew anybody or whatever the case may be. Well, some red Chevelle, I think it was, they got kind of close to my car. So Mike got mad. He goes, oh, because we had to swerve a little bit. And he goes, oh, what are you just doing like that or whatever the case may be. So we pulled over. They pulled over. Well, we get out of the car. Well, what do you think? Who do you think it is? It's two guys we know. I think the last name was Sutton. It was this guy Joe and his twin, and he's got like a brother. I don't know if they were twins or whatever. They didn't look exactly alike, but they were twins. And they were like, "Oh my God, how you doing?" And we were laughing because we're ready to fight, but we knew them. Couldn't see out my windows that good because I had the 5% black, so that's why we didn't recognize him right away. Anyways, some guy in the back seat. This guy, I found out his name. They called him Black Bar. It was like a biker kind of a guy. Gets out of the car. He had that long black hair, that goatee. He was the kind of guy who wears that wallet with the chain, on the hip, like it's in your pocket. And he looked dirty like the rest of us, like some bikers are. So he gets out of the car. What's the problem here? This and that. I said, oh, back up. And so I guess he's had a few drinks. He thinks he's Superman or whatever. So they got between us and everything like that. And we were like, we talked to a couple of guys. And so we left it at that. No big deal, no fight, no nothing. So about 6 months later, 4 months later, something like that, I'm in this bar called Characters on North Avenue. My friend's family owned a place. I was well known in there. I did that to get away once in a while from the club scene. So it was a regular bar. Well, I'm hanging out in there. And so I take a walk with the owner's son, and we go into the men's room now. We're going to use the bathroom. Sure enough, who do you think I see in the bathroom? This guy, Black Bart. I said, I looked up for a second to thank you because, I wanted to get this punk, And I got to call him a punk, and I'll tell you why later. Well, now my friend sees me. I said, hey, Black Bart, right? He says, yeah. Tough guy. I says, you don't remember me, huh? He goes, nah. I says, well, and I described the whole story, what I just described to you. And I says, did you ever thank them guys? Thank them for what? He says. Now, meanwhile, while I'm talking to this kid, my friend walks out. He knows I can handle myself. He won't worry about me. But he was worried because he knew what I would do. He grabs the bouncer. This big kid, Ethan. Ethan was a nice kid, nice built on him. So I said, they should have thanked you. I said, you never thanked them, huh? He says, thank them for what? For saving you. And then he had the beer bottle, and he like kind of took one leg back, and he's ready to crack me with the beer bottle, so he's ready to go. I says, thanks saving you from this. I crack him right in the jaw. Well, he goes flying back. I grabbed him by his long hair, and he's on one knee now because he fell down. Like I guess I don't know. I pretty much kind of like knocked him out. And you know the urinals in the store, in the men's store. I started banging his face right on the urinal. Well, all of a sudden, I feel these big arms around me, and I'm like, oh man, I thought I was getting jumped, but it was Ethan. Ethan came in the bathroom, grabbed me off the guy, lifted me up off the ground, and I says, let go of me, let go of me. And Ethan goes, it's me, Joe. I said, oh, Ethan. I says, what are you doing? So now he pulls me, gets me out of the way of the bathroom. I guess this guy recuperates a little bit. Now he has about 6, 7 guys with him over there at the bar. Now the bar is pretty much empty. It's maybe, I don't know, maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little earlier. And it starts winding down. Well, they all said, is that the guy over there? So now in the one place, there used to be a pool table in one section. By the bathroom, when you come out, there's like tables, little couches on the side of the walls where people could sit down and stuff like that. Well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with bus boys, but they take out a big plastic thing where they collect the glasses, the beer bottles and everything, and then throw them away or wash them, whichever's in there. I says, you guys are talking to me? I started grabbing beer bottles and glasses. I started chucking them at him. I says, yeah, come on, all of yous. Because back then I was a little more wilder and I didn't care because I figured this is my town. You know what I mean? I don't know these people. Well, sure enough, I happened to make the phone call. I forget if it was before that or after that, or one of my friends reached out and they got a hold of Mike Donado, and then that kid I always talk about, he was my friend, that kid Pete Savinello. They come into the bar, but now these guys left because they said, oh, listen, this guy Joe, he's connected, he's got friends. And of course, Pete only came because he knew Mike was there, because I think I might have called Pete first and I says, get Mike or something like that. I forget how it went. But they come walking in, and now meanwhile the whole bar is there. These guys there's beer bottles and glasses all over the floor, liquor all over the floor from when I was chucking these glasses at him. I don't know if I was drunk or had a couple of drinks in me. I might have had a couple of toots up the nose. I might have. I'm not saying yes, because it was, I guess I was maybe 26 years old. So think about it. Back then you don't care about nothing when you're a kid like that. So the whole bar was rallied against me because nobody liked them in the bar. So at the end of the night, we all started having, I said, come on in, guys. They left the punks already. That's why I call the guy a punk, because he had to go get his friends. I was ready to face the guy one-on-one, but naturally he had to go get all of his friends. So anyways, at the end of the night, Pete went right home. Mike said, I'll hang out for a little bit. Everybody started gathering around the bar. We all started doing shots and stuff like that. Mike maybe did one, but he's not really a drinker, and even though I really wasn't too, but it was just a lot of fun. Those are the kind of episodes and what would I call that? Whatever it is. Those are the kind of things. Escapades, that's it. Those are the kind of things that would happen. And here was a great night. Mike and I would go out to Long Island just to get away from the town, and sure enough, we come back in our own town. And this is the kind of stuff that happens. Well, I hope you like that story. I'll try to bring more like that. If Mike's watching, I hope you remember it too. You'll probably get a good laugh. Listen, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Goodfellow Podcast. Peace, love. See you soon.